Hey, I'm Paul Butler. I'm one of the client partners at New Leaf Training and Development, and I'm joined today by Lianne Greenlee, who is the Director of Professional and Organisational Development of Mount San Antonio College, an organisation I'm delighted to say is a client of ours. Lianne, the purpose of these Take Fives is to give people some practical help, provide some hope, and even sprinkle a little bit of humour. So I've just got one question, which I'd love you to run with for about 4 or 5 minutes, as we do call these Take Five for a reason. So here's the question. What are you learning personally and professionally, even as an organisation, during these rather challenging days? Tell us a little bit more, Lianne, about the work that you do, what you do specifically and who you serve. So over to you, and I'll wrap it up when you're done.
Well, thank you, Paul, for inviting me to be a part of this with you. And that seems like such a simple question, but recently it seems more complex than ever. As you mentioned, I'm the Director of Professional and Organization Development at Mount SAC. That's the nickname. And in fact, we have nicknames for everything. They call our department POD. And Mount SAC is one of the largest community colleges in the state of California. We've got about 50,000 students that we serve in the Los Angeles area, and they come to us from all walks of life, from high school directly, or also professionals, international students even. So our role in POD is to provide professional learning opportunities for a little over 4,000 employees. And we basically support the employees so that they can support our students. We have learned a lot in these last few months. It's a time of really dynamic change, and that has brought a lot of opportunity to us. So I'll be really honest that prior to the pandemic and this shift to remote working and learning, our department was doing everything face-to-face, conducting all of its training very traditionally, if you will. And we had launched a new learning management system for professional development in collaboration with our Vision Resource Center at the State Chancellor's Office. But to be honest, not a lot of faculty and staff were using it. And then we went remote, and all of a sudden this system became a lifeline for us. And it was an essential infrastructure that has really helped us. But we didn't know how to use it that well, and we had a lot of a learning curve. We've never trained in a professional and virtual environment, so we learned how to do that. And we learned a lot about, and are still learning, about how we can use experts at our college to really lead the way. And that includes with the technology, and then also partnering with our faculty and staff that they can provide training for our employees as well. There's so much talent there. So through it all, we really have learned that we don't have to do this alone. We have great partners like yourself and New Leaf, and really we've connected more at the state level as well as with regionally with our colleagues. And not only have we shared training, but also shared resources. And it's really broadened the depth and the breadth of what we can provide. So I guess you would say overall that we've been ushered kind of into a new way of thinking about our training. And I don't see us ever going back. So that's a fantastic place to be. It also caused us to really look at what we were doing well and the areas that we had growth personally within our department. So, we've always talked about making sure that we serve everyone, but we have a lot of employees who work swing shift, who work nights, employees who travel for campus to campus, and they serve many colleges and are adjunct faculty. And we realized that we weren't providing them access to our professional learning, and that this was something we really needed to work on. So although we've done all this training on equity and inclusion, we were really blind to ourselves, to our own failings. So we still don't have it all worked out, but we're getting better and we're communicating more with our employees. That's become a huge area of focus for us. So we've redesigned our website, and we are now doing weekly emails and looking at different ways that we can connect. And that, I think, if you ask me overall, brings me to what I think we've learned personally. I've learned personally, and as an organization, we've really learned that while technology is this fantastic tool, and it gives us the ability to continue with our mission of bringing, high quality learning experiences to our students, that it can also be really isolating. And for our students, as I mentioned, we serve a diverse population, and many of our students are, feeling very acutely the effects of what's been happening around them. They don't sometimes have jobs, or they've lost loved ones. Many don't have basic needs, such as food or shelter. And because they come from many diverse backgrounds as well, our employees are really being called to action, to stand by them, to advocate for them, especially when it comes to equity and racial justice. So to do this, we really have to connect with one another. And that connection really can't be understated. Our interpersonal relationships have to be at the heart of that. The language that we use, our emails, our calls, our Zooms, we really need to think about how we are building and sustaining relationships in this environment. And so our work in Pod has really shifted to focus on helping employee to make connections. We've done a lot of training on unconscious bias and racial microaggressions, and helping staff and employees to really think about intentionally communicating with genuineness, with compassion, and having that be the heart of their work with students. So, you know, we know that our organization is people powered and that we work with people. And so I think more than ever, we're just relying on the synergy of teamwork so that we in our department can support our employees and they're ultimately supporting and serving our students. So we're really excited about what we've accomplished and about opportunities to continue to evolve in this remote working environment. So those were really the key elements I wanted to share today, Paul.
Well, Lianne, on behalf of everyone who watches these, and they've become immensely popular, thanks, Lianne, for your insights, and thank you for the great work that you do to help people and organisations be their best. On a personal level, I just so much enjoy working with you, so thanks for everything that you do, Lianne. Could I offer you a virtual high five?
High five.